Hello and welcome back to another AP3 video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about fractionals, radicals, and exponents and how they work. And today, we're going to do questions revolving around that. And the question shows the following. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression for all values of x? So they're basically just asking which of the following choices from the multiple choice is equivalent or exactly the same amount to the given expression for all values of x. So we can rewrite both x radical 3 to the power of 2 multiplied by x to the power of negative 1 over 5 in an easier way, because the way that it's written right now over here is actually pretty ugly, and it could be a lot easier if we can simplify it and make it, and we can dumb it down to as easy as we can to understand it, so we can understand the concept and solve it quicker. So in order to figure that out, we need to understand our exponent rules. So let's say, for example, I have x to the power of a over b. That is equivalent to the radical of b in the inside of x to the power of a. In this situation, we have radical of 3 with the cube root of x to the power of square, or 2. And we can rewrite that as x to the power of 2 over 3. So we can write the radical of cube to the power of 2 as x2 to the power of 3. Now we have multiplying by x to the power of negative 1 over 5. Now we don't like negative exponents, like they're pretty ugly. So the way that we can rewrite it is as a fraction. So let's say I have x to the power of negative 1 over 4. I can rewrite that as 1 dividing by x and just rewrite the exponent but as a positive. So it'll be 1 dividing by x to the power of 1 over 4. So in this situation, we can rewrite x to the power negative 1 over 5 as 1 dividing by x to the power of positive 1 over 5. So now what we do, we multiply both terms. So that x to the power of 2 divided by 3 multiplies with the positive 1, so we have x to the power of 2 over 3 dividing by x to the power of positive 1 over 5. And now we have two coefficients with two different power rules dividing each other. So when we have two fractions that are exponents, or just in general with the same coefficients that are exponents, we like to subtract. So if I have x to the power of a dividing by x to the power of b, that is equal as saying x to the power of a minus b. So in this situation, we can rewrite this as as the whole fraction equaling x with 2 to the power of 2 divided by 3 minus 1 over 5. Now we don't like fractions that don't have the same common denominator. So we multiply the 5 with the 2 and the 3 with the 1 to cross multiply and get the same common denominator, as well as multiply the 3 with the 5 and the 5 with the 3. So 2 multiplied by 5, we get 10 over 3. And then when we multiply 1 multiplied by 3, we get 3 by itself. Oh, I made a mistake. When we multiply 5 with 2, we get 10, and we multiply 3 by 5, we get 15. So then we minus by 1 over 5. So we multiply 3 with 1, we get 3 obviously, and if we multiply 3 with 5, we get 15. So now we have x to the power of 10 over 15 minus 3 to the power minus 3 divided by 15. So because we're the same denominator, we could just straight subtract both expressions to get the value. And 10 minus 3 equals 7. So we get 7 over 15. So the answer to this question of which of the following is equivalent for all real values of x would be x to the power 7 divided by 15. Let's move on to an easier question now. The question asks the following. The equation parentheses z to the power of 3 plus t close parentheses, to the power of 4 equals z to the power 20 is true for all values of z, what is the value of t? So let's just rewrite the expression. We have z to the power of 3 plus t, which is what we're looking for. So make that a different color. So we'll do green in this case. And then we have it to the power of 4. I'll just make a different color, which equals z over 20. Now they're asking us what is the value of t. That would give us the answer of 20. Now what we need to understand is a different exponent rule. So let's say I have z to the power of a, and then in close parentheses, and the parentheses is getting is with the exponent with the exponent to the power of b. So in this case it would be, which would equal z of a multiplying by b. So if I have z, or close parentheses, of 20 with the power of 2 on the outside, that would equal z to the power of 40. So now that we know the concept of how to multiply exponents, or what to do when we have a exponent in the close parentheses and outside of parentheses, we just need to figure out a value that when we add t by 3, we multiply it by 4 to get z over 20. So we can rewrite it as z with 3 plus t multiplying by 4 equals z over 20. So let's just do mental math right now. So let's try each number one at a time. So we do 3 plus 1, we get 4, and 4 multiplied by 4 equals 16. So that isn't the answer. However, let's use 2 now for instance. So I would do z to the power of 3 plus 2, which is the t value that we're using in this situation, plus 4 equals z over 20. We get z to the power of 5 multiplying by 4, which then equals z over 20. So the t value will equal 2, because if t equals 2 and we plug into the first equation, we get z to the power of 3 plus 2, close parentheses, to the power of 4, which equals z over 20. We get z, close parentheses, to the power of 5. So let me rewrite them in lower position. We get z to the power of 5 as we add 3 plus 2, and then in the outside parentheses we get to the power of 4. The 5 multiplies with the 4 to get z over 20, and that is why the answer of t is 2. Okay, so now that we know how to use exponent rules, like the harder examples, and how we know how to use exponent rules to find the answer, either multiplying or dividing them or subtracting them, now we can solve this question in less than like 2 seconds. But if you don't know your exponent rules, this question might be a little bit difficult, as it asks the following: which of the following is equivalent to 2 multiplied by x cubed multiplied by y to the power of 4 multiplied by z to the power of 5, close parentheses, to the value of 3. So let's rewrite the expression. 2x cubed, oh, I did a mistake here, sorry. So we have 2x cubed y to the power of 4, x to the power, z to the power of 5, z to the power of 5, with 3 with cube at the end. So all we have to do is that we multiply the 2 in the beginning, we multiply 3 by each 4 expressions. So the 2, the x, the y, and the z. So when we do the 2, we just do 2 cubed, which just equals 8. When we do x cubed, and then we multiply the cube in the outside parentheses, we just multiply the exponents. We get x to the power of 9, and then when we get y, we multiply 4 times 3, which equals 12, and then we do the same thing for z. So we get 5 multiplied by 3, which equals 15, and that is our answer. Again, pretty simple once you understand exponent rules. But if you don't understand exponent rules, this question might be a little bit difficult. So try to master them, or try to understand the concept of them, and try to apply it to difficult questions. So in order, when you go to SCT day and you get these type of questions, you can do them in less than 2 seconds. So you can get them correct and move on to harder questions you have difficult trying to find the answer. Thank you and happy studying.